Living. So give me a few minutes while I get everything up and running. So I gotta make sure the audio and everything is working correctly, and that takes time. So hopefully everybody's weekend was pretty good. Hopefully everyone got to enjoy Father's Day with their loved ones and stuff. Me, I was doing some training. So let's see here. Make sure everything works, guys. All right. So I'm gonna check the audio and stuff. So give me a second. Testing. I'm gonna check the audio and stuff. All right. Everything's good on my end. All right, guys. So as the title, keep prepping. Definitely do, guys. There's a lot of weird stuff going on that we as preppers already been looking at. We've been looking at it for a while. Dragon Slayer, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? And I apologize for any extra audio that the microphone's picking up. Someone's watching TV in the other room. So with everything going on, crypto is one of the things I want to talk about. I don't play with crypto. I just don't. When I was doing a little bit here, a little bit there, just to do a quick turnover, that's it. That stuff's tanking, as volatile as can be. I wouldn't invest your finances in it. There's no way. I mean, there's no tangible anything there. Stock market fluctuates way too much. Fact is, value of the dollar is dropping. That's it. What do I recommend you doing? Stockpiling food. I see the comments all the time. You need to make sure that you stockpile seeds. You don't need to stockpile seeds. You just need to have enough seeds for multiple growing seasons, because the longer you hold seeds and they're not mylared up and with oxygen absorbers sealed up, they start losing their germination, is what they actually do. So if you go buy 20-year supply of seeds in these little freaking paper bag things, good luck growing anything within about 5 years, because all germination process starts degrading on the seed. That's why you see those like survival seed vaults and things like that. They're vacuum sealed with an O2 absorber. They're sealed into a thing. So that's something you should look at. We grow to seed and we dry it out and we vacuum seal ours. That's what we've been with ours, and we've shown that on the channel. So with seeds, yeah, seeds are a good thing, but you want to have enough food stockpiled up so you can have enough food to eat multiple growing seasons in case something major happens to your soil, your crops, just from weather. And the weather is changing. It's changing a lot. It's not like it was 12 years ago. There's always some type of massive storm. We just had a massive thunderbuster come rolling through here, just nice and sunny, then all of a sudden, boom, lightning popping all over the place. It happens. A lot of weird stuff going on. So seeds are good, but you need to have enough food to last you multiple growing seasons. Pests alone, the pests that attack gardens here lately is ridiculous. You'll lose a lot. So enough food to last you multiple growing season. As far as the American dollar, I don't have any faith in it. I don't. All it takes is a major conflict, and which is pushing and pushing and pushing overseas. All it takes is a major one, and that dollar's dropping. We see too many other countries that have been pushing and getting up a lot of gold reserves, backing up their currency. You know, the ones that are breaking away from the US dollar, breaking away from the petrodollar, those guys. To think ours is always going to be the number one, nah, I think it's a little closed-minded. I think you need to be prepared for many different things. Now, before what I'm fixing to discuss, I want you to make sure you have food. You have ways of purification of water. You have ways of security, ways of generating power. Before we talk about precious metals, that's a transfer of wealth, is what that is. If the dollar drops, society still runs, okay? To an extent. There's going to be a lot of civil unrest if the dollar drops. A lot. The reason I say this is because you can look at what happened with Venezuela. You look at what happened with Venezuela. Look back at their economy. Well, one is corrupt as can be. All right? It is corrupt as can be, which all countries are. Anything that's got a political figure is corrupt. It is. There's not one honest politician out there. Every single one of them is on a payroll of somebody and something. That's just the way it is. It's not the way it was years ago. Same thing with Supreme Courts, Congress, you know, you name it, it's all ran. I know you already touched on it, but your audio really sucks tonight. Well, I've got an electrical storm happening right now, and I've got my mic hooked up to the cell phone. So it is what it is. So anyway, moving forward. All right, guys. Sorry. Yeah, your audio is fine to me. Yeah, I always have somebody that's always got something negative, and I've been dealing with a particular person anyway for a while. There's a lot of things that are actually being changed. A lot of our moderators, I removed some of our moderators because I've actually found out that you guys have been involved with some of the online drama and stuff that's been going on. You know, you're one of my moderators over here, but you're supporting these other channels doing hit pieces on me. So when I find out about it, I just remove y'all. Done. I don't like two-faced people. I just don't. All right, scrolling through here. Audio is good? Yeah. All right, so scrolling through here, guys. My daddy always said if a politician says yes, he means maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of lobbyists and all that stuff going on with politicians. What we can do ourselves, guys, is that we can make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. We can make sure that our family's taken care of and protected. That's what we do. Once you have that secured, then you need to move forward and, in my opinion, but you don't have to do anything, work with your community, especially your local neighborhoods. The more people that you have prepped and ready, in my opinion, the better. Now, I do understand that most people can't get on board with this because of the living situation and the cities and stuff like that. Most people don't even know who their neighbors are. I can say this from a rural area aspect. When I lived in the city, well, I lived on the outskirts of the city. Yeah, the outskirts of the city, yeah, I knew my neighbors and we built a group. When I lived in the city, I pretty much stayed in my home because half the time, most of the people I'm hearing from my neighbors, they're the type screaming at a stoplight and stuff like that. You know, just walking down the road and start screaming at something. So you have to vet these type of people too. I mean, you obviously don't want somebody that's a loose cannon in your group. But that's entirely up to you. Like I said, there is something to be said about building a group. There's also something to be said about watching who you bring into a group. Can't trust anyone where I live either. Yeah, there's some places that you can't. All right. So when it comes down to that, you need to be secure in your household, immediate family, and you need to have multiple plans, hunkering in and also bugging out if necessary. A lot of people don't want to deal with the bugging out part because it's a lot of work. It is. I prep because I value my life, I value my family's lives, and I want to extend it as far as possible. Best to have the gray man until otherwise needed. Surviving Biden, that just depends on the scenario. Each scenario is different, okay? So like down here we got hurricanes, okay? So if I'm staying in position, bad hurricane comes through, even though my property's fine, there's no power, no water. I have plenty of supplies. Sure, I can power up things. I have things in many different locations so that even if I got hit right here, I don't have to worry about what else I have elsewhere. You know, having things moved around. That's the thing. You always got to move stuff around. At least I try to teach that. Have stuff in different locations. All it takes is to have your house burnt down, you lose everything. I've learned from that mistake. Unlike most people that like to come on YouTube and blah, blah, I actually live it. I've been through house fires, lost everything. I've been through a house fire carrying my kids out of a burning building. Yeah, lost everything that's burned down. So when I say move your stuff, don't put it in one spot. Do it. Unless you want to just give up. And most people, they see the, oh, well, you know, that's so much work. I mean, he's showing burying stuff in the ground. Oh, that'll never work. I've been doing it for years. It works just fine. I've actually done videos where I've actually pulled it out of the ground to show you it works. You got to get below the frost line. Well, in my area, the frost line's 5 foot. Well, start digging. All right, put some freaking work into it. Don't want to dig? Get a backhoe. There you go. It's just, I just see all the excuses all the time, no matter what. Is prepping hard? You damn right it is if you're going to do it right. Is it a full job? Sure is. Constantly doing rotational stock, constantly doing rotational stock, constantly checking stuff. Yeah, it's a full-time job. Unless you want to go get freeze-dried stuff that you can shove somewhere and last 25 years. Hey, you don't have to worry about rotating that stuff. You don't even have to worry about that. It's 25 years, all right? But you have to move it. And actually, the freeze-dried food is actually probably one of the best things to actually bury as far as putting in a bucket, because you don't have to rotate it as often. On a normal canned good, dry good rotational stock, like what we always show up to a 2-year supply, I am constantly having to dig stuff out of the ground because I'm constantly having to move it and constantly cycling through. Well, that's just a project we're working on. We're going to be taking a lot of freeze-dried stuff and put it in the ground, so I don't have to keep on moving that stuff, because quite frankly, it's a pain in the butt. But the stuff's expensive. It is. It ain't cheap. All right, that's why we got 2-year supply of normal foods first. Then we went into long-term food storage. And I've seen the comment. Here he is. He's trying to sell long-term food. Man, I don't give a crap what you do. I don't. I just show you what I do. I'm not a talking head. I'm salt of the earth. I'm the guy that gets bloody and dirty and everything else, proving what works and what doesn't work. And that's one of the biggest things on YouTube. There's too many yappers that don't know shit when it actually happens. Just like some of the outdoor survival videos I do. I'm actually trained in outdoor survival. This is why we have our own business. I've been through many different survival courses all over North America, getting the certifications through them, patches, whatever the program is. The last one was one of the toughest ones I've ever done, and that's up there at Self-Reliance Outfitters with Dave Canterbury. That ain't no easy course. But I see it all the time. Well, what you should be doing is blah, blah, blah. When you have no food, limited water, no sleep, and you're pushing your body, and that's part of the training. They intentionally do it that way so that you're fatigued, you're not thinking clearly. You have to go off pure skills and motor skills. Then you can come talk to me about it. Because the rest of us just internet warriors. And unfortunately, unless you train your body and push yourself, you never know what you're capable of. You can have all the insight and all the book knowledge you want, but until you've ever been in the situation and know what you can do with your body, it's a shot in the dark. You don't know what you're going to be able to do. Odds are, if you're not physical now and not out there, you're not doing casual preparedness. Yep, exactly. High intense stress training. That's how you get those motor skills up. That's how you do it. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. You know, I catch crap over my workout videos. I'm trying to inspire other ones to start doing it. Hell, I've lost a shitload of weight, got better in shape, trying to push my body so I am prepared for what's coming. Oh, you still smoke? Well, no shit, Sherlock. It's something I'm having a hard time getting rid of. I definitely guarantee I'm going to outdo your ass out in the woods. Why? Because I'm actually pushing my body every single day. People need to get up the rear end and push. They need to push their body. All right, guys, let me get in the chat right fast. See here. All right, scrolling through here. Alexander, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Milkmaid, how's it going? So, Milkmaid, I did get your message. I got to get back with you on that email. I just had enough time to kind of look at it. I was doing some training this weekend and stuff, doing some things on my end with my business and everything. So, got back today and was able to do some of the stuff I needed to do. All right, scrolling through here, guys. Sorry, I know I'm way behind. I have to look at this little bitty screen here to actually find my screen. Survival game. Aaliyah, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Something about gas mask for kids. Yeah, we're affiliated with MIRA Saftey. They make gas masks for kids and stuff. With any of those gas masks, guys, what I'd recommend you doing, have your kids tested as far as the strength of their lungs. All right. If your kid has asthma and stuff, weak lungs, you might want to check with a doctor to make sure. So, I mean, don't tell them you're going to put a freaking gas mask on them, but hey, maybe you need to talk to a doctor and say, hey, if I needed to my child to have a gas mask on, can he breathe with it? They have tests to see how strong a lung is. Something you might want to check out. I mean, they sell those. You know, I recommend everybody to actually talk to their doctor on that. All right, scrolling through here, guys. Again, leave the @ symbol and type in Survival Living. It comes up orange on my screen. Makes it easier when someone's trying to ask a question on my end. Because I get a lot of here, guys. It's hard for me to cipher through a lot of it. This week, I am actually taking out, I'm taking a lot of food and other supplies to the rescue mission here where I'm at. We're going to be sending some stuff over there to them. I'm still trying to get up with them on their the video I'm going to be doing for them for their advertising, kind of give them more exposure. We're still trying to get everything lined up on that, but we're taking that out this week. We got a lot of supplies picked up and we're going to be dropping that off. So we're always working on something, that's for sure. All right. Ninja Squirrel, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Quitting cigarettes is mind over matter. I've done it twice. Haven't smoked since 2016. I've been smoking since I was 12. I'm 43 years old. I quit for 3 years and I decided to pick it back up. It actually takes about 3 months to actually get any craving and stuff like that done. But I enjoy smoking. My aches, pain, all that stuff, they're things I put my body through. Hey, to enjoy a cigarette or a cigar every once in a while, I enjoy it. Let's see here. Your audio is fine. All right. Alexander, got to be a referee here at the house. Not a problem, my friend. Hey, it all happens. All right, guys. So when it comes to bugging out, stuff like that, guys, please make sure that you get some aerial maps of the area. Just pull up Google Maps. Look at your surrounding area. They even got a topographical map, of satellite imagery, things like that. Start looking around for water supplies. All right, having perfect water filters to filter out water. You'll be amazed at what you can actually see around your neighborhood, like that. Most of the time when we're sitting in our yard and we've got walls of trees and stuff like that around, it looks like you got a forest behind you. Until you do an aerial view of it, and there's actually a house, 60 yards from your back door. And you didn't even know it was even there because it's on a different street. So I definitely recommend something like that. Where do you recommend getting military grade camo net to disguise a vehicle in the desert? If I was looking for military grade camo netting, I would go to a military surplus store. That's where I would be going. Army Navy store, stuff like that, and actually get the actual military grade camo netting, mil-spec camo netting. Most of the stuff I find on Amazon stuff has a shiny sheen to it. I've gotten plenty of purchases off Amazon, stuff like that. The best thing to do is just go to and they actually have there's websites that deal with nothing but U.S. military equipment that you can get, a decent price. The Virginia Bushcrafter, I've done one-nighters, and it's hard, especially hard in wood, keeping the fire going all night. It's just a funny game. It's worked. Virginia Bushcrafter, yeah. And like the Virginia Bushcrafter, I believe you got your own channel too, if I remember correctly. When you're actually trying to survive, is put yourself in a survival situation. You got to, if you got to have your fire going all night, or if you're trying to heat it up enough to have coals the next morning. Sometimes people walk out and have coals the next morning. A lot of people, there are no coals the next morning because it wasn't a large enough fire or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of things. It's easily done. Dragon Slayer, I've been smoking since I was 10. I'm not giving up my only vice. Thanks a bunch, Dale. I don't know who Dale is. Tracy, because that's not my name, but okay. Hey guys, I'm Dale. That's not my name. All right. Will you be at the Fall Georgia Bushcraft? Prepping with Sarge. That's the first time I've heard of it. Prepping with Sarge, he does have his own channel, guys. Will you be at the Fall Georgia Bushcraft? I don't know anything about it, actually. So I'm gonna have to look into what that is. I'm not sure. I know I'm booked through November with my own business teaching outdoor survival. So I'm actually going to have to postpone my trip to the Pathfinder course because I wanted to go out there and take their advanced course that they got. And I won't be going this year. I'll probably have to schedule for next year. The Milkmaid, yes, that's fine, Milkmaid. Do I drop link to people you mentioned? Yes, that is fine. Tracy Jackson, sorry, forgive me, I thought that was your name. No, that's not my name. Hoodow, how's it going? Was modding for another channel. Not a problem, brother. How are you doing? All right, so on top of everything else, water purification. You need water purification. If you cannot purify water, you're not going to last very long. All right. Collection of rainwater. Yes. Have I drinking rainwater in survival situations? Sure. But there's also a lot of pollutants in the air. Whether or not you believe in the tinfoil hat stuff being sprayed in the air, which I do, I believe it. Just the regular air pollution that's in the air, there's stuff in your water when it comes down. All right, so I've drank rainwater many times in survival situation. Seem to be fine. But you need to have ways of purifying water. Right now I'm testing out a system for another company. It's a gravity-fed system, uses ceramic filters with silver inlaid into the filter. I mean, it cleans out everything from chemicals, pesticides, bacteria, arsenic, fluoride. This stuff, freaking thing is awesome. And I've been doing a lot of testing. I've had it for, I don't know, about a week right now. Still testing out all kind of stuff. Having some serious water filtration systems, a good idea. I mean, I carry Sawyer minis and other Sawyer products on my campouts. Work great for bacteria. All right, unless you get into the more expensive Sawyer products that do chemicals and stuff like that. But have something, have a home station. All right. But I always have a plan. Just running out to the woods is not ideal. You just running out to the woods without no skills, not a destination, can't even read a map. Not ideal. You're not going to make it very far. All right, you might make it far, but you might not make it out. And it depends on the woods. Okay. I've seen some woods that's just as clear as can be. There's been enough debris fall down, and you can see between the trees, everything, all the foliage is out of the way. You can basically stroll right on through. And then what is like down here in Florida, it's a wall with nothing but thorns. So, you know, have a plan. I found Waldo. Definitely do appreciate the super chat. Never required, my friend. Backup channel. Okay, I see that you have a backup channel. I did see that you said that you had gotten a strike on your channel. You should still, even with the strike, you should still have access to your original channel. You just can't do a live stream with it if you only have a strike. You can still upload. The Virginia Bushcrafter, yes, I have a channel. Okay, I just couldn't tell because your icon on my end just shows like the generic icon. All right, so I have been to your channel then. Prepping with Sarge, cloud seeding, I'm on the fence. Well, if you guys do a simple search on cloud seeding, the state of Wyoming has admitted to cloud seeding. They've been doing it, and actually admitted to doing it for over 20 years to help generate storms and stuff because it's high plain desert and stuff like that. And that's actually open fact. They're actually openly talking about it now. And we've been talking about this for a while. Back in Vietnam, they were doing cloud seeding. And of course, if we spoke on it, we were conspiracists and we got shut down right here on this platform. And now, the state of Wyoming is actually coming out and openly discussing it. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't eat snow anymore. It's been a while since I've seen any snow. Hudo, how's your garden going? My brother's in charge of the garden now because I'm rarely home anymore. I'm doing private courses most of the time, and the heat wave that we had this weekend has been rough. We had to actually break off early on the course. A lot of people are getting overheated. All right, scrolling through here. I'll check that out. Cloud Seed in Wyoming. Yep, not a problem. Not a problem. Homestead Homeboy, North Carolina. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Hello, sir. Hope all is well. Yes, everything is good. Everything's good around here. So, caffeine and coffee is only caffeine go-to. I like my coffee. Drink a lot of it. I store a lot of coffee. So that's pretty much what we're wrapping up on down here, guys. Just constantly working on stuff. Vanessa Kitty, what does that say? Don't pay your bills, you will lose your home. Better yet, do not pay more than you can manage. Yeah, don't go in. If you're talking about don't go into debt for prepping, I completely agree with you, Vanessa. Always have money put back for rent and stuff like that, because if it ever goes back to a depression day era, which I believe it will, if the dollar drops, I believe it will. If you got mortgages and stuff like that, it would just be like it was back then. The bank and the sheriff will come and force you off your home because the bank owns it with the mortgage. So also in that scenario, I would do my best to pay up as much as I could and have extra finances to pay property tax, because here in this country, no matter what you have, you're still paying property tax. And if you fall behind on property tax, yep. All right, scrolling through here. Carol, how much rabbit feed do you recommend storing? I think you did a video on it, but I don't remember. I have a year's supply of actual Timothy hay and pellets, and then we don't have a year's supply of snacks for them, but we do get the rabbit snacks and stuff for the rabbits. All right, scrolling through here. So I mean, if I had the room, I'd have 2 year supply for them. But what we did, we also have hayseed, Timothy hay, so we can actually start growing. And I've been having a hard time growing Timothy hay down here in my location. It just, there's so much moisture in the air. It rains all the time, just out of the blue starts storming, and I've been dealing with mildew a lot with growing hay. And it just depends on what part of the state you're in. Some parts, they don't have any problem. Technically, the dollar has dropped. You have to work longer and more hours just to, but us to get. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say there, Ghost Lincoln. But I do know they keep on raising up the cost of minimum wage. This is something I talked about when they first started talking about the stuff for California and stuff. Raising up minimum wage. So when you raise up minimum wage, like they've always done, it makes the cost of everything else go up. You're still in the same economic bracket that you were just in because everything else goes up too. But what the real reason is behind this is because everybody that has savings, 401k, savings, cash put back, when they raise the minimum wage and make everything else go up, the value of whatever you had put back just dropped. That's why they do it. That's exactly why they do it. Good hedge against that type of inflation and stuff like that. Precious metals, of course. You know, you can always transfer that. Many people have the money to sit there and go put a whole bunch of money into precious. I mean, seriously, this stuff's not cheap. All right, that's why we do silver, because it's a lot cheaper than trying to do gold all the time. But yeah, they've been doing that. All right, scrolling through here, I found Waldo. You're right, channel works. Happy belated Father's Day, friend. Yeah. When I saw your post the other day, you said that you had gotten a strike, so you made a secondary channel. Yeah, you can still operate your first channel with a strike. You just can't go live whenever you get a strike for, I don't know, it's like 90 days or something like that. Own home and still worried about property tax, surviving Biden. Yeah, so this is my advice, and I'm not an economics expert. I don't have a degree in bartending or anything else like that. But I got enough common sense. If you own your own home, you own property, it's one thing to have cash on hand, stuff to pay further further property taxes, because that's where they'll get you at. If you don't have the money to pay for your property tax, it can, sometimes they take it out of the equity of your home. But if it's a full-blown type of Depression Day era stuff again, all right, my advice, one, try to have cash on hand. But if the dollar ain't worth a crap, then you need to have another form of currency. All right, look at what your property tax is now each year. What I would recommend, purchasing that much in gold and silver so you can actually transfer that over if the dollar drops. Gold and silver has always had value. Everyone likes to get all upset, oh, you can't eat gold and silver. You're right, you cannot eat gold and silver. But if it's an economic collapse, gold and silver holds value. You still have a way of paying certain things. Now, if it's a full-blown collapse, no society, no rule of law, you don't have to worry about it. Of course not. But the odds of that happening all at once, nah, we're seeing that slow slide into SHTF. That's what we're seeing. Small amounts of gold and silver are edible. Well, I guess you can, I'm not even going to say it because then I'm liable when some dumbass chokes on an ounce of silver. All right. Jim Jones, my 401k went to crap. I try to tell myself that I'm buying shares on sale now. There you go. Yeah, I know a lot of people that lost their rear end on their 401k. All right, guys, let me get back in the chat here. I know I probably missed a lot of people. I apologize. Tracy, I pull out my dollars out and never leave it in the bank. Never. Tracy, I don't leave money in the bank either. Any type of income I get comes in. Of course, you're on the platform. It's all digital. Okay, it goes to Google AdSense and then they direct deposit into a bank account. PayPal does the exact same way. When that stuff comes over, I pull it out. The only thing I leave cash-wise as far as in the bank is I know what my bills are for the next month. That's the only thing I ever leave in there, because I pay my bills online, because you never know where I'm going to be tomorrow. That's just the way I am. I pay it online. All right, so I don't have to worry about that. Everything else is I'm pulling out. I do not leave anything. When they shut down everything, we were limited on what we could withdraw from the bank. Most of the ATMs, even the bank ATM, was out of service. Couldn't withdraw money. So I keep my cash on hand. Grid down scenario, you ain't pulling anything out of the bank. All right. I know some people that I've actually spoken to, they used to keep their precious metals and stuff inside a safety deposit box. I don't do that either. After I spoke to him and explained why, when they lock that door, I don't care what you have in that safety deposit box, you do not have access to it. If you try to get access into it, well, you just broke into a, yeah. And even though it's your stuff, you're the one going to jail, not the bank. So I don't leave anything there. Move stuff around. Hide stuff. Scrolling through here. Living off spaghetti sauce and water. Hey, if you had to, you could actually, I mean, it's still nutrition coming in. But we prep for a reason, so we don't have just to have spaghetti sauce and water. All right, scrolling through here. All right, the video locked me out of my security box in the bank. I don't know what that means. $401k pipe dream. Yeah, I cashed out my 401k a long time ago. I don't play with stocks anymore, and I was only doing penny stocks just for flipping something. That was it. All right, guys. So, Oki, we have cash on hand, gold and silver on hand. Awesome. Yeah, I recommend that. We did a video on bartering items just recently, kind of showed you breaking down cash into small denomination, because if something was to go off, cash in hand, you'll be able to still purchase stuff until they no longer see the value of the dollar. All right. Gold and silver. Yeah, you can move that during that time, and it's good for keeping wealth after the rebuild. You never know how long that's going to be. It could be a couple months to 20 years to never. Who knows? All right. So we keep that available as well. I'll tell you this much. We sold, we transferred over a whole bunch of our silver back during the whole shutdown stuff. I lost my job. My wife lost her job. Everybody was just shut down. We got dialed back here on this channel too. I mean, that hit us hard, especially that January event. We all got notified that they were pulling, they slowed down our traffic on YouTube. Because after the first 100 days of that administration, we all got an email saying that they're releasing the reins on us again. The platform did that. That affected everything. So I was able to take an investment on that silver and turn around and nearly double what I invested in on it. That's what got us through. So, gold and silver, does it hold value? Yeah, it increases value. I nearly doubled mine. And I got that idea from Alaskan Prepper. All right, I actually called him up, said, dude, I was able to nearly make double my amount on silver. We needed the income, we were able to turn around. I bought it for like, oh man, this is back when it was like $13 an ounce. I turned around and sold it for like 27, I think it was, an ounce. Not bad, not a bad return. Survival preparedness for beginners. Good to see you, brother. How are you doing? And congratulations on your channel, my friend. Guys who do not know survival preparedness for beginners, he started a channel, I don't know, man, 2 years ago, I think. Something like that. His channel is really taken off. He's got a lot of great information. If you guys have not been over there, you've got to get over there and check out his stuff. Definitely good to see you, my friend. And again, congratulations again on that. I know it's a lot of hard work, brother. I understand. All right, guys, scrolling through here. All right, so we've got some upcoming videos. One, I'm building an outdoor kitchen. Yeah, you guys know our living situation, so we're actually going to be redoing some things. That's going to be happening this week or next week. One of the two. So we're going to be working on that. I'll be filming that. We got some new solar generators coming in. These are smaller units. And I was contacted by several different companies and asking me to do it. And you guys know I like the Oupes a lot. It's a larger generator. But I started looking at these smaller ones. Usually when I see the small ones, I'm like, they really can't run that much. So what I've done, I went ahead and rethought things out, because we're trying to prepare for hurricane disasters, especially with our business. We want to be able to supply people with certain things. So these are smaller generators that are going to be coming in. So these generators that are coming in, like 300 to 500 watts. All right, doesn't sound like much. I had one. I was running a box fan for 5.5 hours. All right. So we're going to be doing some reviews on that. What we're going to wind up doing is either getting their foldable panels that they've got, or probably going to do it my way, where I just go ahead and get a 100-watt panel. I can get those things for like $90. Plug directly in using an MC4 connector, and actually a box fan, one of those units, and a solar panel that we can actually be giving out to people that don't have the power. Because when it comes to CPAP machines, those smaller units will run them, as long as it's not ones that heat up the moisture and stuff like that. If it's just a standard CPAP machine, it'll run it. Great for a fan. So hot after hurricanes, no breeze. Angela, yeah, that's one of the things. Every time a major storm happens here, the heat beat down, and it's freaking miserable. It is. It's freaking horrible. So having the availability to run a fan or a CPAP machine, something like that, that's why I want to go ahead and start doing these smaller generators too, because the cost effective of them, I mean, you can get them for like $150, $200 for these little things. So that's something that we're going to be looking into, because cost effective, plus with the solar panel and stuff like that, I think we're going to be pushing with two with our supplies that we'll be doing. You know, even be able to run a fan for a while. You know, it'll help. It really will. All right, scrolling through here. Food is key. Survival preparedness for beginners. Yep, absolutely. Chrissy Cat, good to see you, my friend. What prepared survival good is the best to buy? Did I read that right? Are you saying survival food is the best to buy, Chrissy Cat? Hopefully you can type back in. Food. Okay, so when it comes to survival food, I've done a lot of different reviews on many different ones, and we're affiliated with a bunch of them. So the best, in my opinion, because of cook time, is something like Mountain House. You boil up water, put it in, stir it around, it cooks itself. I'm not affiliated with them. They are priced through the roof. All right. The other foods, Legacy, Nutrient Survival, Augason Farms, Fort Patriots, other than the oatmeal that these companies sell, you have a cook time. You actually have to have a heat source, a fire or electric stove, propane, whatever, and you got to cook the food for anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. So, and each one of those lasts 25 years. The taste is really up to you, okay? Jimmy Dean, we're talking about 25 years shelf life. Growing your own food, you can supplement your own food with a garden, because I actually done it, and I actually lived on farmland growing up. It takes a lot of work and a lot of hectares to grow enough food for one person to last year round. So we're talking about survival food, all right? All right, we're talking about actual survival food that you can stockpile and put away. With these other companies, it really depends on what you like. What I recommend doing is getting the little sample kits they have. They're not much. Some of them are actually free with, little other items and stuff like that. Taste test them. See which one you like before you go buy a 3-month supply or a year supply, stuff like that. Build your own freeze dryer. There's a reason why they're expensive, because the parts and everything that you need takes a lot. But yeah, if you're mechanically inclined and have the extra income to put into building your own freeze dryer, you're not going to build it for $20. So yeah, something like that. Freeze dryer, of course, they're not cheap. They're expensive. But the best survival food, as far as conveniency, would be Mountain House, because you just put hot water in it and it cooks itself. All right. But if you have the availability in your prepper, you store fuel, you have solar, stuff like that, and you can run electricity, run the solar batteries and stuff like that. The other ones are finer. I mean, you can do that. They're actually cheaper in the long run. Annie, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Jeff Gregory, good to see you, brother. What is going on here? You should be a moderator, Jeff. I think I fixed that. All right, scrolling through here. Does anyone do canning? What's the best canner? I don't have a recommendation on which one's the best canner. It's really which one you use all the time, to be honest, in my opinion. There's all kind of different stuff out there. Militant roots, no, they still aren't cheap if you build your own. Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're cheaper if you build your own, absolutely, but they're not cheap. I mean, the parts and everything that you need. I've never built one. Just the parts that are in there, it's going to be expensive. You know, that's an avenue for people, though. You know, if you want to go that route, you can definitely do that. We're still working on our solar cooker that we're trying to build, and also our condensation boxes and stuff I'm working on, trying to get all the kinks out before we release those videos, because I want to make sure it works properly and effective for the cost. I mean, the parts needed to do all that isn't cheap. So I don't want to put something together that ain't worth a crap and tell people, hey, y'all should be building this, and not, you know, you not get enough out of it. So I'm still working on those videos. Hello everyone. They unsubscribed me. Just found out there was a live. Yeah, a lot of people's bell icons have been disengaged. We still have our subscribers, just most people don't get our notification anymore. That happened overnight. It was like, man, that was over 7,000 notification bells got clicked off. All right, scrolling through here. Just heard Texas wants to go on its own. Do you think Florida would join them, Stephen? No, I've heard Texas was saying that for years now. I don't think anything's going to happen on that. I really don't. People ask me that all the time. Back when Texas was screaming and hollering about it years ago, back with 2 administrations ago, and also they were talking about it during the saxophone player administration. Yeah. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think the only time that's ever going to happen is if a civil conflict was to break out. That's the only way I see that happening. I don't see states receding from each other just now. I really don't. Lisa R. Hall, wow, that's nuts. Yeah, so as a creator, you can look at your analytics, and it tells you how many people's got their bell icon, notifications, and all that stuff. I went from like 17,000 down to like, it's now down to just below 3,000. That's why when you look at my videos, most of the time I only get like 2,000.6 views. That's because most of the notifications have been turned off. So it is what it is. We just keep on making videos and hopefully stumble back over here and find us again. Does the battery matter for solar in terms 12 volt C? We use 12 volt is what we use. I've seen people make them 24 volt systems using 12 volts, switching them over. And also I've seen people use 6 volts and make them into 12 volts. So it really just depends on what type of appliances you're using, what your power need is. As far as the battery itself, we use, I think the name is Wise. I believe the company name is. They're 100 amp hour batteries is what we're using. And they last 7 to 10 years, give or take. They're probably only going to last about 7 years. I don't know. But they're flood acid, maintenance free. You can't even fill them up. They're just solid batteries. Let's see here. Timothy, my ammo shop has started to ask personal questions about why I get so much. Is it time to find a different shop? I would. Timothy, if you got somebody asking you why you're purchasing so much Freedom Seeds, and that's the company, I would be changing companies. That, or if it's just, you know, it might just be, I don't know, each scenario is differently. I'd be talking to a manager. If he's not the manager, it's none of their business. But when people start asking questions like that, I'd be going somewhere else. I would. I mean, that's why they're there. They're there to sell it to you. All right, scrolling through here. Powder laundry soap lasts longer. Yeah, we have a lot of powder laundry soap. Joe Blow, yep, my bell got turned off. Yeah. Well, glad you turned it back on. Yeah, we got I've seen a lot of that. Apocalyptic bin. 4 Patriot products are good. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we teamed up with them. I like them. We still use Legacy. We use them. We use Augason Farms. We use Nutrient Survival. All 4 of those companies, I like their food. That's why we also promote them on our channel. We're affiliated with them. I've had no problems with them at all. All right, scrolling through here. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap this thing up. I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys right fast. Crafty Veteran, I did not see you in here, but oh, there you are. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? So we're wrapping up everything, guys. We've got a lot of work coming up this week. Like I said, we're taking a large haul to our local rescue mission. I'm be working on these smaller generators. I'm putting them through different tests and different scenarios. Main thing, they got to be able to run a fan, and for how long they can run a fan, what's their charge time, stuff like that. Can they run a CPAP machine? You know, medical. Can they run a an air cooler? You know, like those igloo coolers. I've got one of those. We use that as a refrigerator for years. It drops down the temperature inside the cooler drops down 40 degrees from ambient temperature outside. Can it run that? Can it run a mini fridge? How long can it run a mini fridge? So these are the tests I'm going to be doing, because if they can push these certain aspects for anywhere from 5 to 6 hours between a charge, that's still 5 to 6 hours of power at less than $200. If that's an option, it's something we're going to be looking into, and that's what we're going to be adding to our supplies for a hurricane relief part. We're just going to be, you know, even showing up with a box fan, a solar panel, one of those. That's going to help somebody in some way. So you will be seeing a lot more of those, guys. I got 3 or 4 different companies actually sending me some products to test out. So you will be seeing those here. And bamboo saw versus bow drill, which one is faster making fire? Cherokee survival, it just depends. Like right here where I'm at, there is no bamboo. All right, I can make a bow drill out of anything here. So to me, and especially being more proficient at a bow drill, I can get a fire going in about anywhere from 7 to 13 minutes now with a bow drill. But then again, a bamboo saw, if it's the right temperature and you got bamboo around, you can use that too. So, you know, like I've shown here on my channel, there's no bamboo around. So then you're going to have to use a bow drill, and if you don't know how to do a bow drill, yeah. All right. Chrissy Cat, I just want to thank you for all you do before you close. Not a problem, my friend. Not a problem at all. And you guys, if you have any other questions and stuff, it might take a day or two for me to get back with you. You can always email me if you got concerns about something, you got questions on stuff, just email me. I'll try to give you answers from my experience at it, but if I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you, I don't know this, check with so-and-so, stuff like that, because if I don't know anything about it, I'd rather not speak on it. I try to show you what we do here. I've got the bow drill down, but not in 13 minutes. Dragon Slayer. And that just depends on a lot too, my friend. Climate, humidity. The wood might not be dry enough. There could be all kind of different things that fall into play with a bow drill. All right. I've done bow drills that took me over 2 hours to do. But I've also gotten it trimmed down because I'm also watching my wood that I'm picking. They got it down from 6 to 13 minutes, and that just depends on if it's really nasty outside too. I've gotten a coal to ignite, then I've had sweat pour off me and land right on my coal too. That sucks. So you know, there's many different things. Mid Florida is always damp. Dragon Slayer, yeah, I'm up here in the Panhandle. All right, guys, so let me get wrapped up here, and I'll speak to y'all later.